Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today is quite an exciting video for me. I got a big announcement to make. But first of all, as you can see in the thumbnail, I have a complete new update to my garden shed that I built. I'm going to take you out in the backyard and I'm going to show you all that first because a lot of people want to know, Steve, what do you got in that shed? So let's go out there and let's take a look and then we'll come back and I'll tell you what my big news is. Okay, let's just go for a little bit of a walk here. Well, right off the bat, you can notice that there's something different on the front there, eh? And if we swing over to here, there's the, well, here's the complete fence I built. That's a, I guess, a veneer fence, for all of you who've never seen that video before. And that raised vegetable bed there, that worked out great this year. Started off late, not much in there, but cherry tomatoes and regular tomatoes. And right here is a spot for a bird bath. That's this winter's project. And if we take a look here at the shed, yeah, I put one on here, here, and of course I'll show you on the other side. But I wanted to bring up something here that a lot of people were asking me questions about on the foundation. In the original, when I first put the blocks in, well, there wasn't all these. And as you could see, yeah, it's settled down. There was huge gaps there before. So what you do is you decide to actually know ahead of time that the building is going to sink. So you just put the blocks underneath first, and then next year this will be completely flush right down to the bottom. And that's just terrific. No animals will get in there or anything like that. So here's the front right here. And made a huge difference putting these on. That's my neighbor's dog. And on the side here, right over here. Now, I got the planter up here. And if we take a look over here, I'll show you. I got plants all the time going on. I got one planter here. And if you see, there's a hook right there. That's going to be the best, well, for the winter time, the best bird seed feeder that you can make west of the Mississippi. Okay, so that'll be a wintertime project. So let's go inside and let's take a look what's inside this shed now. Okay, now you see how much light come in here right away without me turning the lights on? And I'll turn the lights on and there you go. Now, there's my still. Just awesome brush cutter. And I've got stuff packed up here like you wouldn't believe. You know. So that's the shelving that I made on this side here. And you can see this is ideal for putting all my stuff in here. And I got a shelf right behind the door. Comes all the way around to here. And when you first walk in, this is what you see right here. And this is it. And I mean, I needed this storage room area real bad. So that's all the stuff that I put in there. And I still got some stuff up north, like I'll bring back my generator and put it back here. And this is just two of my chainsaws. I still got a couple more. And this is all for my pneumatic nailer. What do you think? Well, what do you think? That's the whole shed right there. It was a great series. If you haven't seen that series before, I'll put a link down below. And you know, you can build this stuff too. I mean, it's not that hard to do. And I had a lot of fun showing everybody how I built a nice little wooden garden shed for your backyard. Okay, so let's get on to the big news here. Okay, so for most of you that don't know, I have two YouTube channels. I have Steve Robb Reviews and I have another one called Steve Robb Report. And the great thing about YouTube analytics is I get to know exactly who's watching my channel from where in the world. So the analytics tell me that roughly 40% of my viewers on my other channel, Steve Robb Report, are from the USA. Yes, Americans in the USA. And the other 40% are Americans in Canada. And if you wonder why I'm saying Americans in Canada, well, you'd have to watch my other channel to find out why. But, you know, I'm having a ball doing both these channels, and I've decided to do something on Steve Robb Report. If you've never seen that channel before, it's all about me expressing my views as a Canadian in Canada, as an American. And you know what? People don't actually get to see somebody on YouTube that expresses their views as I do, compared to a lot of TV and social media, and they don't talk about stuff the same way I do, which is a huge difference today between the talking heads you see on TV, where most of them, in my opinion, are getting their pockets stuffed by people with loads of cash to say stuff that I don't believe they actually believe in. So what I do is on my channels, I discuss stuff that I actually believe in a quite different format. But what the big news is as soon as I get to 1,000 subs, I think now I'm just above 300 subscribers. So when I get to 1,000 subs, I'm going to start my own podcast. I don't really have the logistics of it all figured out. I know it does cost some money. I have to get some upgrades to my equipment. I have to have a microphone. I have to have all this kind of stuff. But I really enjoy doing this channel here. And for over a year, I've been doing Steve Robb Report. And you know what? I just love it. I mean, I think it's just fascinating that I can actually express my views across the world. And having my own podcast will bring this further. So I'm going to do the podcast and the Steve Robb Report at the same time. So you'll actually see me on YouTube videoing myself on the Steve Robb Report YouTube channel, and it'll be the same on the podcast. Now the podcast is just on all mobile devices, and now in most vehicles. Yes, they have, you know, all the infotainment systems and everything else in your vehicles. And people are really listening to podcasts today a lot more than I actually thought. And I made a video, back in September earlier about Canadaland. And I've been listening to this Canadaland, and I just quite enjoy it with Jesse Brown. He's got all kinds of different guests. And if you want, you can go over and take a look at that video if you like. But I really like doing this talk stuff as well. I mean, I love building stuff. I love showing everybody the stuff that I build. And it's just me in my garage. And when I do my talk on Steve Robb Report, it's just me in my garage. I'm just a regular guy, just like, well, all of you guys and gals out there. It's just me and my opinions. And it's nice to have just a regular person. You know, I'm really sick and tired of these talking heads and political, pundits and CBC types. I don't like CBC types. But you know what? I'm having a ball doing this. And if you'd like, you can join Steve Robb Report and, be a part of something in the future. Because when I start my podcast, I am going to have segments where I will go out of my way to mention new and upcoming YouTubers that I believe have a shot at being successful on YouTube. And it is very difficult to be on YouTube today. I've been doing YouTube for over 5 years on this channel, and so much has changed. I mean, today YouTube is not just somebody falling over, from a stick and going on the ground and rolling around and getting 1 million views. Them days are long gone. Today, YouTube is some of the best entertainment, do-it-yourself, getting knowledge from watching people doing stuff on YouTube, like building something or fixing something and that kind of stuff. It is completely different than when YouTube first started, and the caliber of videos that you're watching have been going up and up and up and up, and it is very difficult to get a good start on YouTube. And I'd like to do my best at promoting smaller channels that I could see that they have the potential. And you know what? All of you watching now, think that you don't have the potential to do stuff. But I see so many YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to. They are just super talented people, and I think they need more exposure because they're that good. And you know, that's the difference between a podcast channel that only talks about themselves and supports themselves and promotes themselves and this kind of thing. I'd like to take a lot of you along with me, as much as I can, and have some fun along the way. And I always promoted this on my channel from the beginning, is just get out there and have some fun and try to be a positive influence if you can, as much as you can, on other people, and make this a better YouTube as we go along. And of course, when I transition into a podcast, which I have no idea, guys, I have no idea how to do a podcast, but I've got two very smart daughters that are really computer whizzes, and they're going to help me along, and I'm sure I can figure this out. Because I'll tell you something, before I got on YouTube 5 years ago, I couldn't operate a computer. I mean, the only thing I could do was send an email back and forth. I never did anything else. I had no clue, so this is a big learning curve for me just doing this. And I can really understand how hard it is for a lot of you who are thinking about going into YouTube, the learning curve of what you have to do. And there is a huge learning curve. And, you know, there's some great people out there that will go out of their way to help mentor other people. And, you know, that's something that I really enjoy doing as well. If I could help somebody, well, you know what? I do. And, you know, that's a good philosophy in life. So I just thought I'd mention this today. If you're interested in joining Steve Robb Report and help me get to 1,000, that's fine, because I'm going to be helping every one of you in the future get to 1,000 too or more. So thank you very much for joining today. And if you haven't seen this channel before, well, you're welcome to subscribe and stay tuned for more of Steve Robb Reviews and Steve Robb Report. Cheers.